Linda Carver had always believed in something called unconditional love, especially when it came to family. For decades, she built her world around her husband and their only daughter, Julia. Every meal she cooked, every holiday she planned, every dollar she saved felt like it existed for one purpose: to keep her family whole. When her husband died of cancer, the life she knew collapsed. At 58, she felt the earth open beneath her feet. But she told herself she still had Julia. She still had her daughter. The house in Cedar Park, the one Linda and her husband had built from scratch, became too heavy to live in. Every corner whispered memories, late-night laughter, the scrape of his slippers on the kitchen floor, the warmth of the life they had once shared. So she sold it, telling herself it was time to move forward. Julia and her husband, Derek Miller, offered her a place to stay. Or rather, Julia did. Derek barely lifted his eyes from his phone the day Linda moved into their apartment. Linda tried to take up no space. She stayed in the small back room, cooked meals, cleaned quietly, offered to run errands. She tried to be helpful, tried to be invisible, but Derek had a way of making her feel like a burden, like a splinter, under his skin. He rolled his eyes when she spoke. He changed the TV when she was mid-show. Once, as he passed her in the hallway, she heard him mutter, "Freeloader." Julia brushed it off. "He's stressed," she said. "Work's been rough." Linda swallowed the shame because that was what mothers did. But everything snapped during one quiet dinner. Linda had made chicken pot pie, Derek's favorite. The table sat under a heavy silence. Julia scrolled on her phone. Derek sipped his beer, as usual. Then he looked up and said, "You know, maybe it's time we stop pretending this is temporary. We're not a charity." Linda stared at him. "What do you mean?" Derek smirked. "How long is this supposed to go on? You're not working. You're not contributing. We've got bills. We didn't sign up for extra mouths to feed." Linda turned to Julia, desperate for help, for a word, a glance, something. But Julia kept her eyes down. "Maybe it's best," she whispered, "if you find something more stable. For everyone's sake." Linda didn't argue. She didn't cry. She walked to her room, packed 2 suitcases, the last physical remains of her life, and left the apartment. Julia didn't walk her to the door. Derek didn't say goodbye. Linda stood outside their building in the cold, wind biting through her coat, and realized she had nowhere to go.